There we go.
Was it Bravo Day?
Huh?
You go up there?
Where?
Trinity.
Yeah, I was up there. Were you up there?
From Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host...
Karpatsky, huh? Well, here we are. We're about a minute late, but this is Kaz Kwiatkowski, City Councilman, along with my two cohorts.
DJ.
And Ron.
That's it?
That's
DJ
it. No
and Ron?
last names.
That's right.
No last
Okay,
names.
well, we have a caller, so go ahead, caller.
Well, good afternoon, Cass and DJ. How's everything there today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, I was wondering, Cass, I see in the paper there where the retired city clerk for part of his $1,000 a month is giving you guys advice on voting. Did he help you determine your vote on that stray dogs and cats thing?
Well, he was in the back room, and they asked him for his institutional knowledge.
What was it?
Well, it was kind of like, not really, kind of like what you get from an attorney. A little bit here and a little bit there, but nothing really firm.
Oh, okay. So, obviously, according to the paper, he's been giving you guys a lot of advice on helping you with resolutions, ordinances, zoning and things. Has this anything been written down, or is it just all verbal, asked in the hallway kind of thing?
Well, I don't know. Who's the timekeeper?
Who's the timekeeper?
Yeah, I don't know if we have one, you know.
I was reading the article today, Cass. You know, I'm one that's been outspoken about. I thought council was wasting their money by giving this guy $1,000 a month, but according to the paper, the place can't run without him, and that new clerk you have can't do the job without Clem being there. Is that how you feel about it?
Well, I didn't read the article, but somebody told me about it. I don't get the paper until Sunday,
Yeah.
and I usually acquire the paper after my mother gets done with it. But I mean, I stopped reading it when they went to Butler. But
I understand. Well,
yeah, but you know, I like
wasn't some training done ahead of time before he retired.
well, you know, we could have made a case that I'm setting my phone down. We could have made a case to keep him, you know, keep him around for a little bit. But I didn't like the 2-year plan. I thought that was
Whose idea was that?
that was I don't know. It came from a
Come
couple.
out the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we call that friends and family plan, Cass. When you have friends or family, you try to do everything you can as a city council person. Now, maybe you're not in that mode, and hopefully you never get into that mode. But I think there's some people on the council that, if it's Jim Clem or Ruthie Thompson or whatever, make sure they get whatever they can get for, you know.
Well, when I left my office, the controller asked me to help her a little bit, and I did that, and I did that before and after, at no cost to the city. And I felt, you know, that was okay because my predecessor did the same thing to me.
Oh, I think that only goes to reason. If you've been treated well, you've been paid well, you've earned a decent pension, you give a little bit back. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it hurts to give a little bit back.
No, she called me back, and, you know, we would go over a couple, you know, anybody that thinks they come into an office and you can just step into it, that's wrong. But, you know, if your predecessor, you know, gives you a little help, and when you need help, maybe you're a phone call away, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the way I felt about it, but I didn't charge the city, and, you know, but to each his own. But getting back to that vote, it was like, the advice we get is much like you get from solicitors. You know, they go, well, you know, this is how the law goes, but however you can, you know, they give you like ins and outs, and I thought that was, and then we get another, what do you call it, solicitor's opinion after the fact that's a little stronger. But
Yeah.
that's about what we got out of our clerk too, you know. Well, you know, this is what the law says, third-class city code, which I knew, but, and then, you know, we all know we can reject something, but what is the,
Yeah.
what
When
is,
you say your clerk gave you, which clerk was it? Was it Jim Clem, the retired clerk, or Rose Roby, the current clerk, gave you the advice?
oh, you know the answer. I mean, you asked me, you know.
Well, I want to hear the answer from you because I wasn't in the back room.
Yeah, it was Jim Clem. They asked him for his expert opinion.
Oh.
You know, what had happened in the past. Well, you know, the past was...
Yeah.
The past was a dark times in the city. You know, we don't want to go back to backroom politics and all that. You know, and here's what's amazing. Some of the people that are mad at me, I asked them and I said, look, everybody wants their government to be very transparent. Would you agree with that?
Right. That's what sealed bids are for.
Yeah, but then it's amazing how, it's like nobody likes congressmen but their own congressmen. You know, it's the same theory. No, that's the theory. They point this out that the reason why nobody ever leaves Congress is everybody hates the other guy's congressman. But they like theirs because he brings home some bacon. Well, it's a lot like government. They want transparency, a lot of people, until it affects them in a negative way. You know, when you try to play by the rules and you say, hey, look, and I have nothing against the Anna shelter. I have nothing against, you know, it was, you know, it's about either we have rules and we have ordinances and we do things up and up, or we go back to the old days, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. I keep thinking about these paving contracts. When you have 3 or 4 people bid on these paving contracts, and only one of them wins, should we be telling that guy, well, you really got to work with the other 2 that lost? That is ridiculous.
Oh, you mean, well, you're talking about what happened with the Anna shelter and that, right?
Oh, yeah, like, you know, if one lost and one won, well, maybe they should work together. Well,
actually, what happened there now, this is weird. The young lady, and I give her a lot of credit from the Humane Society, she realized, you know, what was going down, and she said, look, there's enough for both of us. You know, if there's some way we can work together, I'm for it. You know, and I admired her for it. So we kind of threw that out there, like, okay, would this help, you know, get the process going? But, I mean, that wasn't our original thought, and it actually came from the fact that this young lady representing the Humane Society was willing to do that. But, you know, the other 4 didn't want to go along with it, so then, you know, we're voting on the contract. So it wasn't that, you know, we were looking at it as a way to, change things, but the young lady actually, you know, she gave us the idea because she said, look, there's enough work for everybody, and we can all work together, and she said that in the paper too, and so I think that's where that came from.
yeah. I think, Kaz, I think that the city wins because you're getting this service done for less money, and 2 years from now, I bet that fee will be a lot less than the $22,000 a year 2 years from now when you go out for bid again.
Yeah, and you know, it's all about fairness. You know, I was on the other end one time. I remember I used to have to write up bids, and then you sit there and you watch, and you would smack your head and wonder how it happened. But, you know, I'll give them this much. I've been there when the bids were open, and they open them up properly. They're sealed. Usually the controller is there as an independent voice. And, you know, so, you know, if you lose, hey, you lost because, you know, it was a fair process.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I applaud you and the work that the 6 others you have to do. It almost sounds like we have an 8th council person now, and it's retired city clerk Clem is the 8th council person that's in there helping you guys an awful lot. Well, good luck.
Hey, thank you.
All right, bye.
And you guys got
What did you vote for?
I voted for the Humane Society.
Now, was that the lowest bid?
Pardon?
Was that the lowest bid?
It's the contract. It's the only bid we had, and I'll explain why. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good
Hey,
Afternoon.
I've been reading some of your past articles. I'm catching up on them.
You are, huh?
Yeah, they were pretty good. I enjoyed them. Hey, and you know, when you call in on Sunday, make sure you give us the artist, okay?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you didn't give us the artist on that one.
Sure I did. I said the incomparable one.
No. There was a song you gave us that I couldn't figure out where it's from.
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
Italian cowboy.
Yeah, call me and tell me who did that.
I think that was Lumani.
I think so too, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up though.
Italian cowboy and the sheriff and the whole shot.
We'll have to get you to come down there sometime.
I'll have to run that board and show you how to pull it up.
Oh, we'll be back to third world status.
Heck, I'll be just like Nate. Hey, I read the opinion that the solicitor wrote.
You mean the second one?
Yes, not the first one he gave that left you hanging and dangling.
See, I said the same thing. The first one was vanilla. The second one was like concrete.
Whipped cream, yeah.
And I'm going, you know, why? If the second one's written,
The second one was all ploy for the newspapers and maybe for his business that he has still running while he's a city solicitor. But that's beyond the point. What I want to know is, did he write an opinion after City Council, which you were not present at the time, took the higher bid for the police cars? Did he write an opinion how that was wrong too?
I don't think so.
I know he didn't.
Which one was,
The police cars that the local dealerships had submitted a bid, and the bid from the outside of the town area submitted a bid. I don't know where it was from, but
Yeah.
I think it was down state a little bit.
well, the whole problem with the process is that council never sees the bids, okay? We're told what they are.
You're told to react on what they are.
Yeah, and the problem, like the controller now, when I was controller, he would be there. Now, it is permissible, and I don't know the reason, John, but it is permissible to turn down a bid if that bid, for some strange reason, doesn't give you what you expect. In other words, anybody can bid on anything. So if you say, I want a 10-foot basket, okay, and some guy sends you a bid, well, I can do a 9 3/4 basket and save you money. Well, you could throw that bid out because that didn't meet the specs or that's not what your intent was. So you have to be very careful when you throw a bid out that's for a valid reason. And if
You know where the fault is then?
because I'll tell you, John, hold your thought 1 second, John. Like what happens a lot with concrete projects and bridges and all that other stuff, and I've been there where they say the tentative award will be to this company. However, it's subject to approval by the engineering on the state level and the local engineer. So they look over the specs, and if the specs are what they, because when you open up a bid, you're not looking at the specs, okay, John?
Oh, you're looking at the bottom line.
You're looking at you're looking at the bottom line, make sure they had the bonding documents, all the stuff that was supposed to be there.
True.
Now, after they award it and they say, well, the apparent low bidder will be XYZ company, then they give it to whoever initiated the bid, be it the fire department, police department, the engineering department, streets department. They look that over and they make sure that what the person bid on is exactly what they wanted. And if it isn't, then that's why it says lowest responsible bid. So, yeah, you do have wiggle room, but in this case, I mean, we asked them all. We said, what was the reason that they don't meet the specs? And no one can give us a concrete reason.
Well, when I was bidding on millions of dollars of vehicles, we always left it open in the event of price increases, changes in the bid or whatever.
Yeah.
The same thing if you're bidding for material. Well, if you're bidding for material and it's $10 a foot right now, when by the time you get it, it may be $15 a foot.
Well, what happened when I used to bid for the company I worked for, you had to hold the line for like 30 or 60 days.
True.
And the boss would tell you straight out, well, yes, we can, no, we can't. Bigger companies can hold the line under.
Oh, yeah, they can hold it 6 months, 8 months, or whatever.
But a little mom and
go
pop,
from there.
well, sometimes the little stores, they can't do that. They can't sit on merchandise for 30, 60 days, And so, yeah, there are reasons, but I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, John.
Well, that's all right. I was more or less 50% happy the way it turned out. But the whole thing here is, what I know from the past, that higher bids were accepted and the lower bid was thrown out.
Right, but you have to, but if that's true, and if you give me a specific,
I'm working on that now. I have my iron in the fire.
No, but if you can, I'll go check and I'll ask because they still got them on file.
I think it was a few years back on the replacement of police vehicles.
Well, sometimes it's like typically, my brother-in-law would say this, that he was bidding on cars. He worked for a car dealership, and the police are looking for a certain package,
for equipment in the whole shop.
Yeah,
you got to get the heavy-duty equipment.
Right, so sometimes a company will bid another one that's alternate, and John, specs can be written that
Right.
in such a way that they want a certain package, they want a certain company.
I was aware of the vehicles were identical in packages and.
Well, that'd be interesting. If that was the case, I'd want to know why they did that.
Well, because council has the right to accept or reject a bid.
But in that case, I'll bet you it wasn't council; it was the office upstairs that sent down that bid.
Well, yeah.
Council, in all my time that I've been here as a controller, I've never seen. I can't remember them ever rejecting a bid. Council. It's usually the case that it comes down from upstairs. You know, this is the,
Yeah, and the same thing came down from upstairs on this one, too.
well, this one said, and this is where I disagreed with it. It said,
His mouth shut and
This
let
was-
council do their job,
Yeah,
not make an opinion before it is awarded.
well, who made the opinion?
That it should be accepted? The mayor.
Well, what happened was, as it came to, I'm trying to remember the genesis. It came to council, and the other party was disturbed, so, you know, the press got involved and everybody else, and the mayor's office said, this is the bid that we recommend. Well, recommend is, here, I'll give you an example.
Accept.
Well, the controller every week sends down a list of bills to council. And how we worded it was, these are bills that are recommended for payment. Okay? That meant that our department had looked them over, they had met the legal issues, that they were accounted for in a proper manner with proper receipts, and that they were, you know, handled in the right way, and we would say, these bills can be paid with the recommendation of the controller's office.
Unless a council person has a red flag and he wants to know why this bill or that bill.
Absolutely, and a famous example of that was Ruby Jenkins' husband. She used to always pull small tools.
Yeah.
And she said, what small tools? And you know, we can laugh, but that was relevant. A lot of times councilmen would come to my department and say, can you explain what this is? And I would say, okay, how would you like me to write this so that, you know, it's a little more, you know, and we would change the way we wrote it so that they would understand what they were voting on.
You got to update hand tools, not
Well, yeah, and then we'd say that small tools are generally,
take care of the changes in the vehicles.
yeah, and then sometimes because our guys under contract get a tool allowance, okay, you know, which is, you know, that's negotiated through contract.
All tools comes in a lot of big dollars.
Yep, so I mean, you know, but go ahead, John.
But that's all I wanted to say. But then again, I'll tell you, I took a ride up from 38th and State all the way up to about 40th on both sides.
Yeah.
No seals. No tar seal for the joints.
Hey, I did look at some of your problem areas, and I turned them in.
The moment the water gets down in there and freezes, it's shot. The problem areas, I left a message to the gentleman also.
Okay, and I did.
The garbage is coming out again down there on 38th Street. It was good for about 4 weeks.
Yeah, I did take a ride around different areas that you gave me, John. I turned those in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and I will take a ride, see if anything happens with them.
And a medial down there by Canavino Way and all there, the grass.
Yeah.
It's not ornamental grass. It's about 12 inches high.
Where's that?
On 38th Street, down by the zoo.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
And I went by 922 East 38th Street, and I happened to see a couple of panda bears and a lion back there hiding in the jungle.
Yeah, I just turned that in again. That's that one that's abandoned.
Yeah, there's no one in that house. And
Yeah, we're supposed to get I just talked to Andy Zimmerman. He's going to get back to me on that. I said, neighbors are really, really complaining. I'm not the only one that complained, so there's about 3 councilmen that complained on it too. So
House or what?
yeah, vacant.
I think it's right down below Perry Street.
Yeah, it is. It's right near there.
All I can say, it's a jungle out there. I'm still bleeding from the Cleveland Indians.
I know. We whoop you.
You sure did.
Take your pinstripes with you.
Yeah.
See you, John.
Okay.
I have a
John's
quick comment on the large items. If people are putting garbage out that shouldn't be there, I am of the mind that we should just send somebody out to pick up the item and
then,
we tag it onto their garbage bill.
Well, what we're supposed to do is lien it. Lien the property.
Right.
For the cost. You know, fine them, but
Do we do that? Do we send
that's
someone?
You know, in the past I've asked them and they say, yeah, but this time I'm going to start checking to see if they are doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm amazed at the number of couches, once again,
Yeah.
that are out there. And it's like, I mean, if I can see them, and I'm not even looking hard.
Yeah.
I'm just taking my normal way into work.
Yeah.
But like the other day I went down to Zabava, and as I was driving around, I'm saying, wow, look at there's another couch, you know.
Right.
And then I was up in one of the better parts of town, supposedly.
Where's that?
And there's a couch out there too. And I'm going, what the heck gives here, you know? But yeah, you're right, they should be.
I see what you guys did with the water bills and the garbage bills and tying everything together, make it so they have to pay it.
And I did call about that 12th Street factory again, you know.
Right.
Supposedly, you know, to the public that asked me, sometime around September 1st, they're supposed to make a decision. The judge has given them till that time to tear down or do something.
Was that old Zern Energy Building or where? Old Zern Energy Building or what?
I don't know what building. Was that Zern?
Yeah.
The one that's got the roof tore off?
Yeah.
I thought it was a museum for World War II. You know, showing the Dresden bombing.
It looks like it, don't it? How's Warren doing? I guess they got him to the first of the month, right?
Who?
Warren on 12th and Peach. Get that place cleaned up.
Yeah, that was in the paper again about, they're still on that guy, and
What's wrong with this guy?
he looked like he cleaned it up slightly, but not a lot.
It doesn't really look, I drive by it every day and it just still looks like a bunch of cars sitting there all.
Cut some
Well,
of the trees down.
It's cleaned up a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's still not,
Well, have we set guidelines as to what he has to do?
we
Or
took him to court.
Yeah.
He's actually been ordered by the judge, so
to do what exactly?
clean it up to the city's
Specs.
specs, you know.
So who signs off on that? Who's going to look at it and say, okay?
Well, that will be our code enforcement people that'll,
Good.
you know, probably our legal department, because we have our lawyer on it, Jerry Villela. So Jerry will have to, you know, with the recommendation of the code enforcement that, you know,
Speaking of code enforcement, I have a question about telephone poles. Is it or is it not allowed to put your own signs on telephone poles?
that I think, you know, that's interesting.
Garage sales?
The city may have an ordinance, okay,
Businesses.
but it's usually up to like the utilities too to regulate their poles.
I would like to know if it's legal or not, because as far as I had last heard, it was not legal.
I don't believe it is.
I don't think it is. I took a walk around a 2-block radius today,
Oh, you picked those up?
and I picked them up. I pulled them off the
Wow,
poles.
let me see.
This
What
one,
do we got
well,
here?
I'm not going to show them on the air because
Oh, you know, we should. We should embarrass people.
Well, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna embarrass
Is it legal though?
Huh?
If it's legal to put them on the poles, then this is not embarrassing anybody. It's advertising
I don't
the
think,
company.
you know what?
Let's find out. I'll
Yeah.
keep them for next week. Yeah, let's call them. Because I found one on 11th and Sass. I found another on 11th. These were all around McDonald's. 12th and Sass. 12th and Sass. 12th and Sass.
see,
And
what do
then
we
I got
got
a
here?
garage sale.
You remember
and I
how
got
to do
another
this?
one here.
Do you remember how to do this?
Yeah, just pick it up and dial.
We'll find out. I'm all for embarrassing people.
Okay. I'm down with that. I mean, we can find these. If it's about finding people, this one has a website, and on their website, they have their address. We can find these people.
It's unsightly, you know.
And it's all over the place.
Yes, who am I speaking to? Okay, hey, Andy, we're on the air, but what's the code enforcement rule on signs on telephone poles? They can advertise on there?
Oops.
Oh, okay, but, you know, okay, I will do that then, thanks.
I may have to put them back.
No, you may not, yeah. I don't believe that.
I'll be the one who's embarrassed. I could have swore we had found out that you're not supposed to put up your own signs.
Well, we're gonna find out.
That's what I get for taking action.
Well, you
I'm going
cleaned
back
up clutter.
undercover. Hey, you know what? I'll put them back up. I still got the nails, and I wrote down where I got them.
Oh, man, you're bad. Yeah, John, this is Cash. Hey, we're on the air. I just need a quick opinion. Telephone poles. Are people allowed to put signs advertising stuff on there? Andy said that's your department. In other words, like these signs, apartments for rent and all that? No, right? Yeah. I mean, is there an ordinance against it? Really? Oh, okay. I thought there was a rule against it.
Got some work to do.
You're gonna have to help me.
Okay. Can you kind of check for me and then get back to me sometime? People are asking me over my neighborhood because they're appearing like water now. They're coming up with, apartment for rent and this and that.
There was a guy.
It's really unsightly.
Telephone pole, right?
Yeah.
And the boxes are up on top of the pole.
Right.
This guy had wire out to the pole. Didn't touch anything.
Okay.
He's got pictures.
Yeah, could you get back to me?
Take it off. That's our
Hey, thank you.
property.
What we'll do, we'll hold that in abeyance.
You guys are both gonna help me put these back.
No,
if
we're
it's
not going
okay.
to we're not going to put them back because they fell down.
Yeah, they fell down.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll wait for an opinion, and then I'll call Penlick too.
Yeah,
We'll see what they say, but
I will keep these for safekeeping.
yeah, I think they're unsightly. But
Okay, what we find out about that road up by the post office, the semis parking the vehicles there?
I meant to check on that, and I didn't. Well, we will.
Be down again.
Hang on a minute. This was a bad week for a
A
vote.
lot of stuff on his plate.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it.
You're the head man here.
Somebody else asked me about that.
Okay, I went down Davis and they did a fair job, but you still got, but it's paved to 33rd Street. Now you go 33rd to 38th Street, it's just as bad. I mean, why don't they just finish? You said last week that, they're going to put it in the budget next. Call them up and when they're going to do that. They only took them 2 or 3 days. They had that street done.
I will for you, just for you.
Yeah, but it's kind of stupid. You had the equipment there and they could have
I don't think that.
finished it.
I'm trying to think if
That was an independent
I'm
guy.
trying to think if I was on that road the other day. I didn't think it was that bad.
What, the street itself before they did it?
No, I mean compared to some of them,
Oh, it's a bad street. Like I said, a couple of years back, I don't know how many years ago, they put new pipe in there and they cut the street just shortly after they did the paving. And now it's all coming up, it's all bubbling, it needs to be redone.
I did go up above East 38th. What was that road they asked me to look at? And that's all tore up now, so
Which one's that?
I'm trying to remember which one that was. I spent a whole day driving around town looking at, different sites and things. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, about the signs on telephone poles.
Yeah.
May not be against the law for a city, but I'm holding the utility bill right here from Penelec. Penelec says it is unsafe and unlawful to put signs on telephone poles. They are the property of Penelec.
They say that, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, it's written right on my, this is a couple months old. This is from springtime because they usually put that notice out every spring when people are starting to have yard sales and garage sales, but it's right on my statement from Penelec.
Because
That
I
makes
thought,
me feel
So, like I said, it might not be a local law, but according to Penelec, they don't want you touching their poles. Them poles are private property.
these people are getting really smart about it too. They're putting them so high you can't reach them without a ladder.
yeah, there was one I saw that was 20 feet high, I
Yeah,
think.
it's these that I won't mention, but these are.
I don't know what if there's any bite to the law.
Yeah, if there's something we
Penelec,
can
I'm
do.
sure if they really wanted to push it, they could probably get a district justice to fine somebody, but
Well, if you, I don't know how to, on the east side of town where, you got all these things for apartments, well, it's getting unsightly,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I don't know how Penelec can enforce that. They're not lawmakers, but it's written right here, right on my Penelec electric bill.
Well, I think what they're saying is that, the poles belong to them.
Yeah.
This is what the engineer told me too. The engineer,
Well, what it is when them, very few utility workers climb a pole anymore. It used to be, you're climbing a pole with nails and staples
Yeah.
and everything in it.
Yeah.
It was a hazard to the utility workers. Most of them use bucket trucks now. Very few climb a pole anymore. But
well, not only that,
that was a reason I had heard years ago.
well, a lot of people, they could damage the grounding wires and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, in some places, they were all the crackheads and meth heads. They were stealing the ground wires for copper,
Right.
and them selling the copper. That's a real danger there. So
Yeah, we got a nail that.
That could have gone through a wire.
Yeah, these people they don't realize it. What makes the area look trashy too, though.
yeah, and you don't mind if somebody puts up a sign Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're take them down Sunday afternoon, Monday
Yeah.
morning.
If
But
you're a business.
yeah, but
and you
like I said, I have no idea how they can enforce the law if it's not a law of the state or a local municipality.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Unsafe and unlawful to hang signs on utility poles. They're private property of Penelec. And what is it? First Energy Utilities.
I got 5 right here from a local business that they're professionally printed. I mean, I can't really
well, nowadays,
tell.
though, you got a computer and a printer. You can print about anything that looks.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, they just, we're gonna double check and, you know, if, we're gonna maybe showcase them next week.
I'm
some
starting
of our,
something now.
yeah, we're gonna showcase,
Yeah, like I said, if you go back a couple months, look into your springtime, you know, March, January, February, March, April, it's probably on your Penelec bill.
yeah, you know, I thought one time before they were talking about yard sales, and they did an article in the Erie paper about, you know, please don't put them on telephone poles.
You know, and I can understand the streets departments, you know, there's a lot of times they'll put up signs, you know, because they're getting ready to pave, or streets that don't have no parking on certain days where they got to get in and clean the street once or twice a year. They fines, but then they also come around and take them down as soon as they're done cleaning the street or doing whatever street operation they got to do.
The yard sale, the one I found today, the yard sale says it was over on the 15th, so come take it down.
Yeah.
That's not hard. If you're going to go through the trouble of putting it up, you stapled it. Pull it down.
Yeah, come around, take it down, and take whatever fastener down you use to put it up also.
And
All right, I just wanted to let you know that it's written right on my Penelec bill.
Well, thank you for calling.
I feel so much better. I don't feel like I was out breaking the law now. I wanted to finally get up and do something, and now I feel like,
Let's get to that shooting going on last Friday, okay?
Which one? At the,
The old Jimmy's Tavern.
yeah.
Okay, about a week before that, they took the license away from him for a week.
No, it happened wait a minute, I think it happened before that. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I don't always agree with Ron, but Ron is definitely right about Davison Avenue. I live in Southeast Erie.
Yeah,
Sticking up for the people that live on that street. If you're going to do from 28th Street to 33rd, might as well pay from 33rd up to 38th. The road is in terrible shape. Every time I go up or down Davison Avenue between 28th and 38th, I got to go see a chiropractor.
I'll make it a point to go by there today and drive over that stretch. I will be going that way.
Our word for it?
No, I want to see it, okay?
Ron is definitely right. If you're going to do half the road, you might as well do the whole road if you got the equipment there. And I got one other thing to bring up.
Yes.
I'm the gentleman that complains about the bad drivers we have here in Erie. I drove in traffic for 32 and a half years with the job I had, and I had my wife in the hospital down at Hammett a couple weekends ago, so I went to visit her on a Sunday morning. I left the hospital at 12:30, and instead of taking the Bayfront Highway back up to Southeast Erie, I thought, for a change of pace, I'll go up State Street. So between 4th Street and 21st Street, there's 17 traffic signals. And at the time I was on State Street Sunday afternoon, there was about 4 or 5 cars going south and about 4 or 5 cars going north. No pedestrians were there because, of course, there's no shops to shop at. There's just the bars that were closed on Sunday afternoon. Out of 17 blocks, I got stopped 10 red lights, me and the other people. I mean, even the people that were in front of us, if they ran ahead, sped up a little bit, and made a green light, they were held up at the next block. I think that's totally ridiculous when there's no traffic, that they're going to have that many red lights functioning like that at them intersections on a main thoroughfare like that.
I agree with you. I don't know if they have, obviously they don't have them.
They're not synchronized.
Well, a lot of towns will synchronize them different on weekends. Maybe that's something we have to look at. Like I've been in other cities where, like during football games in, let's say, Cleveland, they will change the lighting pattern to reflect, getting people out of a city faster or getting them in faster. And
they were so behind in the traffic. 4 months ago, my family took a ride up to Niagara Falls on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Once we got off the thruway, actually 57A, between the thruway to Niagara Falls, there was like 11 traffic signals that we went through to get through Buffalo.
Right.
We hit them all. They were all green because it was 8:30 in the morning.
Right.
Traffic. They let them stay green a couple extra minutes per intersection. We didn't hit our first red light until we hit the first red light in Niagara Falls, New York.
Yeah, I agree with you because I've seen other towns do it, and apparently we're not. I'm going to bring that up at the next council meeting, that see if we can get the traffic engineer to give us an opinion why they don't do it. Because I've always said, they have the technology now to like put blinking lights on. You can put blinking lights on if you want to, or just kind of change the timing on the weekend so that that certain traffic, like in the daytime, yes, that's a bad street. You need to have it slowed down. But at nighttime or on the weekends, like it's really like I do a radio show on the weekend, and I try to stay off of State Street because I'll never make it home, and it'll be 15-minute drive where I can come over French Street, do a lot quicker.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Erie's a nice city to live in and all that, but in certain areas, especially in the traffic area, we are behind the times terribly.
Bayfront highway.
Yes, we are. What, a Bayfront's a mess.
That's who.
It's going to get worse.
Who was that was in was Flippy in office when they put that Bayfront highway in?
No, that was before that. Started way before that.
When Tom Ridge was governor.
Yeah, that was probably...
That was a joke, wasn't it?
Well, the original studies go back to before Joyce even. By the time they actually put the construction down, what would you say, sir? Was that Joyce?
I believe it was under the Joyce Salaccio administration, yeah.
When they actually started laying the concrete, right?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, 4-lane highway would have been perfect.
It's not a highway, though. That's the problem.
330, you can't even get there. It's bumper to bumper, the whole west side, east side.
And remember this, they're going to make it worse, okay?
What are they going to do now?
Well, they're going to definitely work on the State Street interchange. And then you got plans on, what was the other light they were talking about? They got to make some changes, a block or two away from that for something that's going in. I saw that. So it's going to be, well, when they do the 18th Street project up there on the East Side Connector on Buffalo Road, you're going to get another light situation there. So hang in there, right, sir?
Where do you get these stupid
I'll just
brainy
finish up by
ideas?
saying I don't know the whole story about the Bayfront Highway, but when Tom Ridge was in office, some of that money was from the federal government, and they gave the state of Pennsylvania a lump sum of money, I heard it was about $30 million, and they told Tom Ridge, take it to PennDOT, and that's how much money you'll have to put in a Bayfront Highway, and that's why they could only afford to put in basically a 2-lane highway, counting the turning lane. If they had their way and they had the money, they would have gladly put 4 lanes in, but it just wasn't to be. They just didn't have the money.
No, now it's been slowed down by light after light after light, too.
They still put a 4-lane highway. They got enough room on both sides.
Yeah, but they're not going to, because now you have things that have to access it, unless you build a road alongside the road. You follow me, sir?
Yeah.
Because now you created things like the convention center, the intermodal center, the library, all these things, everybody's using it. So how do you get onto it? Okay, you got Liberty Park. You'd have to build another road parallel to it, travel way up to another point and have an interchange.
See, I
don't see that happening.
One time, 18th Street was going to be straight through the city.
And 19th Street, too. Two
18th
lanes
Street was
east.
going to be 4-lane highway. They went 2 blocks, and that was it.
Do you have anything else, sir?
No, that's it for today. I'll give somebody else a chance to call.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Actually, Ron, what that plan was 2 lanes one way on 18th Street, okay, and 2 lanes the other way on 19th Street. That's what they were going to do, because
People got stupid ideas.
But you know what? When they took the tracks out on 19th Street, that was Kenny Springer's plan, was to either put a trolley track on there, or the city wanted to. There was a plan, and I have it at home, where 18th Street be one way west, let's say, and 19th Street be one way east or something. Go ahead, caller.
About that nice job they did paved on 12th Street.
Whereabouts? I mean, way out there?
All of 12th Street. Then the sewer department comes through and it's digging it all up.
Well, I don't know why that
I've
happens.
seen a couple of them, like on Myrtle Street, throughout the Myrtle. They got a big hole there after they got done paving.
I've been amazed since I was a young man how, when they do these things, they, don't they contact the utilities beforehand, or?
I got a bunch of dummies.
Did they dig up the concrete there, or just remill it?
Hey, drive over 12th. All you hit is potholes now, and that's going to be worse come winter.
Yeah, did they remill it, or did they actually dig it up?
dug it up.
They dug it right across, and manhole to manhole.
Oh, man, I mean, yeah, then, I don't know why they don't call the utilities in.
Well,
It's still even, I'm amazed at the projects, how long they take. That 12, way out there by,
set up all that time before they started paving. Nobody knew about it. And next spring you'll be looking to fill the potholes.
yeah.
It just don't make sense.
What's going on with 38th Street, East 38th Street? There's patch jobs all along it. I thought they're going to repave it. That's the state's
I
responsibility.
mean, East 38th?
Yeah, East 38th.
There was no plan by the state, I heard, not this year. We weren't notified of any plan. West 38th, I think there was,
Yeah.
but not East 38th. You have anything more, caller? Yeah, we were told that West 38th was going to be done, but not East 38th.
We're getting everything last, don't we?
Well, no, I think it's about due, because, let's see, last time they did Pine Avenue, I'm trying to remember when it was now.
When Rackenberry was
They do have a regular, since I lived up there, it's been a pretty regular schedule. Every so many years, they seem to, do parts of East 38th and Pine.
Oh, so it's back to this one subject. Jimmy's Tavern.
Yeah,
They pulled the license for a week.
Yeah.
And that was just about not even a month ago. And they pulled it back. Gave it back to him.
Yeah,
Why? Who's made that decision? The police
State.
department or liquor control board?
yeah, because this is a subject near and dear to my heart.
I know you know. I know what you're talking.
And I can't tell you who,
I know the
but
situation.
it saddens me, because I've been on this one pretty hard. I've been talking with the police. I've been talking with our state legislator. I've been talking, the state's got to, the state is the one, because of the rules, okay, it's very difficult to take a license away. Witness, what was that one on Buffalo Road? Remember years ago?
The old Naughty Pine.
Yeah. Took a woman 3.5 years or 2 years or 2.5 or something like that.
Now a kid got killed there.
Yeah, but I mean, it took a
How
long...
old was he? 21.
Well, this might hurry up the process.
Yeah, because now the sign says 30 years old.
Well, look at the
Look at
nuisance.
the kid that shot him and his cousin, 19 years old.
Name the ones in town that have been in trouble over the
Yeah,
years, right?
I've told these what's going on at that bar for the last 2 years, and no one wants to pay it. No one listened. I went to the top to a lot of big shots,
Yeah.
and no one looked. Everybody looked the other way.
Well, they're aware.
If you walk in that bar at 12, well, they busted him.
Which
at
one are you talking about? The one...
Jimmy's Tavern.
Yeah,
They
that,
busted them at 11:30. 11:30 in the morning. I said, wait a minute. Why 11:30? They weren't open till 1. That's kind of stupid. Well, we found some stuff. No, you get there at 12:30 midnight, then you'll see what's going on.
keep that topic fresh, because... Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, this
Yes.
is John.
Yes.
Hey, the ordinance you want is Article 925, poles and wires.
In the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
925 .20, signs on wire supporting poles prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
And 925.21 is signs on city poles prohibited.
Okay, so they're not allowed to really do them on any utility poles.
No.
Okay, because we're going to bear some people that are doing it.
And I just spoke with Public Works, and there has been an abundance of these lately, and the Parks Department is dealing with it. They are removing them as they see them. So.
Got a stack right here.
Yeah, we got a stack here, so we'll turn them in, okay, John?
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very, very much.
If you want to read about it or pass it on to your viewers, Article 925.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay.
You must have been listening to them.
Yeah, I don't feel so
Well,
bad.
let's see now. What do
I
we...
think they're watching
Before
all-
we go back to Jimmy's, let's see.
We got one garage sale, but
Well, we won't
this
pick on
is
him.
This is the guy.
There's the
somebody's-
guy right there.
Somebody's
Get that.
charging money.
see,
Somebody's
Get
these
that
are
one there.
professionally done.
Wait, we're not allowed to show these on TV,
No, why not?
are we?
Why not? You're doing it. You got it up now.
Wait, hang on a second.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
I'm seeing those signs.
Hey, hang on a minute, John. We want to... Can you see them okay?
Yeah, I can see them.
Yeah, it says Glitch Busters.
Yeah,
So,
there's
we-
even signs around saying, I will buy your home.
Yeah, there's 5... Well, he's got one here. Let's see. We got one here, so...
Yeah.
You're on notice that we're watching you.
Yeah, but hey, let's face it, we have Team Turf putting all their signs now on city right away, the property, and you know what they are?
What's that?
Now, before you saw the great big sign, it was green and we love our turf.
Right.
Now they got little American flags and it says Team Turf below it.
Well, the way I understand it's like political signs. You on your own property, not the city right away.
Right, but this isn't on your own property. The majority of them are on the city right away.
Well, yeah, because they want to grab the attention of the cars as they drive by.
True.
But it's like the city now. They have done this during political season. All candidates are warned.
Yeah, well, you know the same thing with all those garage sales. Now, you got the Parks Department, everything going on. They got addresses and phone numbers.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the four-lane Bayfront Highway.
Yeah.
You know what that will create if it's not done properly with the access and egress? Another McBride Viaduct Bridge.
Well, that's what I said was like we created the time to build a four-way highway. Would have been years ago when we could have put in like what they're doing. John, you get down to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Some of the areas now, and this could happen in Erie eventually with Peach Street.
Roundabouts?
Well, no, they don't want people coming on, like in Erie, you can get on Peach Street from any business.
They have various areas where you get on that ramp and get to the highway.
Yeah, because that's what they're doing now in Allentown. They're doing it on McKnight Road in Pittsburgh. You have to travel parallel with the road, and then you get on at a given point down the line somewhere.
True.
Because there's too many accidents.
You had Gentleman Tushak on. You should have asked him, the one gentleman was calling about the trouble with the traffic lights.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to put traffic sensors on the lights to...
Oh, that's the traffic engineer. I can talk to her.
And I thought that was in the process because of those low ambient lights and all that, and then they were supposed to have that in the fire. They had money coming in to put those in.
You talking about light sensors for traffic lights, or?
For coming and going traffic.
What do you mean as far as setting the lights?
It'd be a sensor, and it would show that the traffic is coming, keep the light green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll bring that up with the traffic engineer. That's not John.
But
That's
there's a lot of, there's so many irons in the fire, and when city council only meets twice a month,
yeah.
and they spend for 15 minutes, and then they adjourn and give their reports, we want you people down there working and doing the job for the city.
Well, John, I wanted to take you on my ride the other day. I did.
Well, you didn't call.
Well, you know what? I had an opening, and I took it.
Well, I would too.
But I'll call you.
I'll go with you two. You two both. You and me.
Well,
We're going to go.
Well, John, I told him he's got to call me, set up a date.
Yeah.
And I'll get you.
Let me know.
But like I say, we got to have council meeting more.
Now, Mill Creek
Don't like
trying to change
pay my
the government.
councilman $300 an hour for 2 meetings a week. Well, have a great.
Well, hey, John,
What?
you're a bitter man just because your Yankees lost.
Not
Jesus.
bitter because my Yankees lost. We'll
can
be
tell
there
it.
in the end.
What end?
To get our 28th.
I don't think so.
Serious.
John, you can't be. John, are you? Did this state okay the use of that funny weed?
What funny weed?
I think you're trying it ahead of time. There's not going to be no 28th.
If I have aniseed out here, that's funny.
There's no 28th coming for you guys.
I got basil out here, that's funny.
I think, you know what's going to happen if it did happen? It'd be a repeat of, what year was that when Maz hit that home run?
That's the only thing that got him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I'm not a Pirate fan, but I think there's a city south of us that will prevent your 28th, even if you're lucky enough to get that far.
I don't think so. I think there's one out west that it's time they got rid of the goat. But you know what? Can't say much about that because they sent a horse's ass to Washington.
Oh, jeez.
They did.
Well, we don't have a censor thing on that quick enough, but...
Hey, are you going to that campaign rally
Which one?
for the state senator, what's his name?
Wiley?
Sestak?
Wiley.
Wiley?
Yeah. You going to this? Are you the one who paid him $5,000 to his campaign?
I don't have $5,000. You know how much I make for council?
Joe Korchak was on this morning. He said, wait a minute. He said, there's $5,000.
Do you know how much I get paid on council?
You get too much.
No.
Do like Mill Creek does.
I'd have $1,000 left. I'll give you that one.
Do like the supervisors do in Mill Creek for the last 30 years.
What's that?
Okay, you want to be water department, right? The head, right? Okay, I give you $80,000. Now you're on the water department. You're on the road department.
Oh, good.
You get $80,000.
Well, we don't have that anymore, so.
And you don't have to be there.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore.
What's his name? His father was the judge. Juliana, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to change the law and...
Man, you're going to get me in trouble. You know, the Ethics Commission will be down there. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, I happened to see that advertisement by the Scatellas, who lease, I think, the Land Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're throwing a soiree September 19th. And the sponsorship started $5,000, and I can't remember if that's the captain's sponsorship. $2,500 is the keel.
What does the yeoman get?
Well, I don't know what the yeoman
Or the
gets.
seaman? What do they get?
$5,000, and with that $5,000, you get like 8 tickets, 8 $50 tickets to go and eat. But you're sponsoring, I guess, Wiley, in his reelection.
Well, we don't own that land no more. That's I think we gave that to the Port Authority.
Port Authority, and there you go. I mean, you had to say that. The port, the convention center, there'll be people that give that young man $5,000.
The ones that got kickbacks.
And $2,500, $1,000, $500, and maybe it went. I'm not sure if it went below $500. But general admission is $50.
I think my highest fundraiser ever. I have to. Mine hit 50 one time.
I was just surprised. Wiley's a lucky man. Selling 2x4s at 84 lumber, and now he's a state senator. That's quite a transition, let me tell you.
Yeah,
and we can thank Mark DeVecchio for the young man's success. But we need people down there in Harrisburg that are working for us, and I'm not sure that all the fanfare and he's here and he's at a school reading a book. I want some hard workers, and we don't have it anymore, Cass. We really don't.
How come we couldn't get no gas money from the gas tax
to
do the roads? $11 million to do our streets, and the state's got all this money in their coffers.
See, Ron brings up a good point, though. We want, we want the state to change the laws on tax reform. We need that as a city.
Yeah, we do.
We need we need more economic incentive and programs.
Yeah.
But we also need that bar on 26th Street closed.
That's priority one.
Right down to it. Think about it for a minute. 40% of the property in Erie is run by nonprofits and schools and the courthouse, and then you've got another maybe 20% that's run by businesses. So there's 60% of the property that's kind of off limits to the normal person.
Yeah.
And then you've got, let's say, 40% that anybody can use, but it's gotten to the point where some areas aren't safe.
Wow.
You're just a normal, law-abiding citizen. There's about 10 or 15% of the city where you would want to go without packing a gun, for God's sakes.
Well, I'm going to write a letter that I want you to see it ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a scary. We're in a scary time right now, and
It's going to be my proposal for what has to be done on the state level.
yeah, Kevin,
Or your state senators, where are they? Why aren't they here yelling at the table and stuff? Now you go downstate
Well,
at
let him finish
Harrisburg.
and then you're-
Okay, you go. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's all I had to say. I mean, I saw that, and I won't get into who's going to it. Well, maybe I will. Mursky and Brennan are both going to that soiree, and they're probably just a $50 ticket because I know they're not giving any money.
Yeah.
But and I'm going to give you another little thing. I know for a fact that Mr. Wiley, when Mr. Brennan was running, went to a union and asked for the same help for Mr. Brennan that they gave to Mr. Wiley. And I watch all these shenanigans and stuff, and it just makes me want to go beat my head against a basement wall. And that's all I have to say for now.
Well, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Take care. Okay. Got a couple minutes yet.
Yeah.
You do.
Where were we at?
26th Street, I share your passion.
Okay, but
And-
like I said...
and I want them-
But like I said, though, they took the license away. Who gave the idea to give them back their license? Was that the state or the police department?
Liquor licenses are controlled by the state, okay?
Who's taking the blame for this kid getting shot? Who's going to take the blame for that?
Nobody, you know that. They're going to pass it down.
They're going to pass the buck
Here's
down.
what has to happen, though. This has now reached a point, I mean, this ain't the only bar. We have other
have
bars.
quite a few bars.
We have a lot of bars, but you remember the one on East Avenue? It took a couple of years with Father Jerry?
How about the new one just
And-
started? The baby daycares during the day and a
Yeah.
bar at night.
But I mean,
Oh, yeah.
look how long it took them to clear that one up on East Avenue, the one on Buffalo Road. It's not an easy process. I've been told this by not only police officers, but state officials. There's a hesitance. And you can see it locally on a small scale, like just trying to tear down a house, trying to take a house away from a person that's abandoned. There's a process in this state, because it's a commonwealth and all that, they don't like to take people's property. And, but now it's reached a point that this club has been cited a number of times. No doubt there's been bullets fired, okay? It's time to...
Let's tell the story about the person. Guy's watching his TV, minding his own business in his own house, and all of a sudden here goes 3 rounds through the window.
Yeah.
And just missed his head. Now, how would you like to be next door to that guy?
This
Huh?
is why
That was about a year ago.
I would tell you, people are aware of that bar. Apparently, it didn't rise to the state's level to pull it permanently.
I tell you, whoever's in charge better get their head out of their dupe.
Well,
and
let's find
straighten
out
it
what-
out. Who's
let's-
in charge?
let's find
That's
out.
the one we got to find out about.
Let's find out now what happens going down the line. Now you have a case where you had a murder now, okay?
Right. They knew that was coming, and the guy was under 30 years old.
What I'm confused about, and this one I want to check on, when you say that you can't have a license near a school,
Near a school.
right?
And right across the street from a school.
Yeah, but where do they measure it? Not even a school director could tell me. I don't remember when I was a school
Okay,
director.
that's a good question to find out.
Is it from the front
Three of
door,
us.
or is it from the back of the
We'll find out. I'll find out. I know the fight people, so I'll make some phone
Yeah, find out if it's from the back fence, or is it from the front door. If it's from the front door, maybe it's a small technicality.
Okay, here's another
What's
one.
the distance, do you remember?
I don't remember.
It was like 50 yards or 100 yards,
Something
or?
like that. But I don't.
Don't start anything, we gotta wrap up. It's time to go.
Okay, yeah, hold your thought.
Hold it for next week.
Yep,
Well, we were getting pretty good here, weren't we?
we're getting there,
We're
but
getting there.
Start out with that next week.
People, call. Don't be afraid to call and ask questions. We're here to answer. We try to.
and thank you for bringing the signs in. We didn't embarrass anybody, we just brought the attention that
Yeah.
they're looking for renters, so we just trying to help them out on our show, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're breaking the law doing it.
Well, I don't have any renter ones. I have computer stuff. I
Oh,
have
buy your house.
I wanna buy a house.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
My house.
you're on notice, so
All right. Thanks for watching.
you'll get a kudu.
I get probably a bullet to the head.
No.
Yeah. I gotta watch it.
I'll protect you.
I'm dead.
I'll
I'm dead.
With that, we'll see you again here next week.
That was pretty good. That went fast, too. We brought some nice issues up, too.
You bring those signs and those.
I found those within 2 blocks.
You thought you had the back?
I was going to ask you, when you said that once, when you said something about